Hi, this might be, this is probably anyone who watches my videos. I have like 5, I think. Most of them are shorts, 1 or 2 are full-length videos. This is what I sound like. I don't know if anyone really cares. I know I don't. But this is a mock I made. It feels weird to say, but, it's like a robotic knight. The legs are sort of supposed to look like horses, like horse legs. If you can see like the hooves and the design on the legs, sort of is supposed to remind you of like that of a horse, almost as if they are riding on a horse to do knightly things. They have a little bit of a shield here, sort of like a hand shield. I have a clear piece there right now, but I think at some point in the future, if I find a non-clear one, then I will replace it. It looks okay, but I think it would look better with a normal non-transparent piece. Here we have the other arm, which is, I don't know, it's basically the same, but this one has sort of a sword. I can't decide if I want it to be a sword or a lance. I'm going with a sword right now. I think it fits slightly better, but then, I guess it could also be a lance, but then they'd be less of a knight, more of just a lancer. Anyways, my favorite part of the design, I believe, would be the sort of chest area. If you can see it here, there we go. Because I think it looks pretty, not like pretty good. Sorry, I think it looks pretty good and not half bad. But then sort of this chest, stomach area, and the waist and down. My personal like pride design is not pride design, but favorite part of the thing that I designed is the waist, which is on a hinge so that you can fold it inwards. And because the way I designed the stomach slash chest is with a 1x2 cheese wedge to represent the abs area, with a attached to a clip with a bicycle handle, which had 2 other clips on it, using cheese wedges. Here, let me using those dark blue cheese wedges on the sides to fill in the chest, so it didn't feel empty. And but then the way I had it was kind of awkward because it had sort of a gap here, and so then I thought of using a hinge with it's a 1x1 snot brick, with studs on all sides, with a cheese wedge on top and a little bit of a piece here on the front, so that you can collapse it in and it doesn't look that bad. And another bonus feature of it is that it is slightly tilted forwards, which means that the chest doesn't protrude forwards, because if it was just like this, you can see it sort of slants forwards and it makes him look kind of fat. But like this, he just looks lean, I guess. The head does turn. Oh, shoot. But it's not very well. It's just a stud connection. It's just a bracket on his back. But, shoot, I hope I didn't make it too long. It's just a, stud connection, so he can't look up or down, but he can look side to side, although, as you saw, it's kind of difficult. A few unique design elements that I normally wouldn't do. I do build a lot of mocks, I just don't show many of them, or any of them. But something I don't normally do is something with, like, these hinges. Like, normally I don't use hinges to make a unique angle. I would normally just use the hinges for articulation. But here, I've used them the same way quite a few different times. On the waist, here, once, you can see it is bent at an angle connected to a cheese wedge, so that it lines up quite nicely to fill out the waist area. Here on the shoulders, I don't know if you'd notice, but they're actually on the hinges on a 1x2 with bar clips on each end. And so they actually fold back a little bit, which I think makes it look quite nice. I feel like most of the colors aren't going to be final, but it's kind of mostly done, so I might not work on it much more. But I'm really proud of the way I designed the legs, because at first I was just going to try to figure out a way to have bricks continue down and that'd be the leg. But then I realized that with the snot brick here, you can sort of connect this bar piece and then build the rest of the leg from there. And then the hoof design is just cheese wedges on these short bar pieces. What's kind of funny is originally I was designing the chest to be some sort of like transformer or car-esque robot. So I had these as like headlights or windows, but now that it's night, they're just kind of there for detail.